tuning into TTV. I'm your host, Toya, and today is Tuesday, which is all about alternative medicine. So these are just different ways and tips and things that can kind of help you be the best and most healthiest version of yourself. So little things that you can include in your repertoire or your medicine cabinet to kind of help, those little home remedies we always run to when we have issues like upset stomach or toothache or anything like that. So this will just be one of those that you can add to your repertoire of herbs and what they can do and how they can benefit you. Before I get started, two things. One, please like, subscribe, and share, because if you get something out of this content, somebody else might as well. And it also supports me and my channel, so thank you. The other thing is let me say my disclaimer. All right, and yes, I need my glasses because I am nearsighted, so this is just too far from me. But these statements, the statements that I'm about to make in regards to the juniper berries have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration, and they are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Not intended for use by pregnant or nursing women. If you have medical conditions or are taking medication, consult your doctor prior to use. Discontinue use. Consult with your doctor if any adverse reactions occur. So, got the disclaimer out the way. So, the other thing I want you to you should also check with your doctor as well, because anytime you're taking a herb or herbal supplement, sometimes those supplements can interact with the medications that you're on. So it's always best to talk to your pharmacist or talk to your doctor just to make sure that adding a herb or supplement or something like that to your daily routine will not disrupt what they're already trying to work on for you. So those are my disclaimers. That's my little tidbit, and now let's jump into it. So today we are going to discuss juniper berries. So juniper berries, they're really a beautiful herb. A lot of times it gets used in things to make them fragrant, or it gets used in like beverages and stuff like that for the taste. So nobody really knows, or not too many people really know about the health benefits of juniper berries. So one of the things that they do is they help to break down acid in the body. So, and that's really helpful for some people, especially if people who have like gout. Gout comes from a buildup of uric acid. So if you have a buildup of uric acid, taking something like a juniper berry would be something that would help decrease that acid, like break down those acids and bring you some relief, because a lot of times those flare-ups are because of the buildup of the uric acid. They can also help, or it's also been known to help with breaking down stones. So like if you have stones in your bladder or stones in your kidneys, it actually helps to break those down so that you can pass them. And that's very beneficial, because if anybody has ever had them, they've always said that they are very painful. I don't know firsthand, but that's what I've been told by everybody who's had them, is that when you get those stones, it's very painful and very uncomfortable, and it's until you pass it, because it's not something that they typically go in and have surgery over to have removed. They wait for you to pass it, and in that passing, it can be quite painful and uncomfortable. So taking something like a juniper berry can help break down those stones to make it easier for you to pass. And because it does do things like that, it actually works really well for your, I don't know, what are we going to say? We're just going to say your urinary area. So that includes the urinary tract, your kidneys, your bladder, all of that. It works really well at maintaining or restoring back to its vibrant self. Okay. Now, when I say stuff like that, you may have had issues for some years. Let's say you've had an issue for 5 years and you take 2 doses of juniper berries. It's not going to miraculously just make everything okay. It took you time in order to build up to where you having the issue, or where you even notice that you're having the issue. So it's going to also take time for the herbs to go in and do what they need to do to help release and break it down. Okay. Now, the other part of that is if your system is already sluggish and you already having issues like your bowels don't move as well as they do, or you're retaining fluids instead of letting them out, then you're going to run into problems when it comes to any herb you take, because whatever it is that you take, whatever is breaking down, whatever is pulling out, whatever it is healing, it needs to be able to flush that stuff out. So if your system is so sluggish, let's say, that it can't shoot that out, then it's going to take you a while in order for anything to start showing signs of improving when it comes to herbs sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. So keep that in mind as well. If you have never detoxed, if you've never, done an enema, if you've never had whatever, if you've never done anything to try to clean your system, you're going to have a lot of issues. And taking herbs, yes, they can be beneficial, but it's kind of like adding soap to a dirty cup, okay? If you put some dirt in the cup with some water and mix it up and you add some soap, yeah, the soap is going to foam up and, you'll see the bubbles and stuff, but guess what? That dirt is just going to fall to the bottom. It's still going to be in there. It's not like it's going to remove it because you have a cup full of dirt. But if you had a cup that had dirt in it, the dirt was removed, and you go in and you put that soap in, it's going to clean it so you can rinse it out. And it'll be nice and clean. So it's kind of like that same idea when you're taking herbs. So it's not that the herb won't work or won't do anything. Just like an analogy I use, when you put the soap in and you start stirring it up, the dirt will fall to the bottom. So it's still cleaning. It's still pulling the dirt out. It's just it can't get it out the body like it normally would be able to if the body was cleaner. So keep those things in mind anytime that you're dealing with herbs, having herbs, including the supplements and things like that. Anything that you're trying to use to better your body and better your health, just remember, you need to be able to flush that stuff out. So you always want to think about your bowels as well. I did do a video on the bowels, so I'll try to remember to put the link up. Probably at the end of the video. So you can look for that one as well. So, but when it comes down to the juniper berry, they actually helps with like urinary tract infections and, pH issues that we may have with our reproductive system as a woman, so issues that you have with those areas, it can actually help to break it down and pull it out. The only problem is, when you are taking this, with anything that you take, too much of anything is going to be harmful. So you want to make sure that the amount of juniper berry that you are ingesting isn't too much for your body to get rid of. So WebMD, which there's some links below for WebMD and Healthline below. I love WebMD because they will give you, they'll tell you what the benefits of it are, and then they'll sit back and they'll tell you what to watch out for. So that's why I always use WebMD as a reference, because it gives you the what to look out for too if it's there. So you want to make sure, according to them, they said 10 milligrams of juniper berry per day. That's it. If you go up to 100, then you start having issues to where you can possibly have seizures, or you're overworking your kidneys, and then you can end up with issues with your kidneys because it's too much for your body to flush out. So that goes back to what I was saying. Make sure your body is clean, or that you're detoxing, something like that, and it will make the herb work even better. Not that it's mandatory, but it just helps the herbs to work better if you're detoxing and cleansing first before you actually start a regimen. So with most things, like I told you guys in previous videos, when you're talking about your herbs, your fruits, your vegetables, all those kinds of things, all of them have properties in them that are going to have antioxidants. They're going to have anti-inflammatory. They're going to boost your immune system. All of those things, because that's what they do. Okay, that's why they're so important to include in our diet. And so juniper berry is the same thing. It helps with boosting the immune system. It also helps with the immune system as well as inflammation. So it also helps with the inflammation. Another thing that it does is it does help improve your heart health, because it helps keep your cholesterol levels good. And again, that information, if you want something to read or just want to go back, you can look at the links below and it'll give you some additional information. But that's the information for juniper berries. Again, it's something that I believe that a lot of us, especially in my culture with African Americans and Black folks, whichever name you want to go by, in our community, we have a lot of kidney issues and things like that, heart failure, stuff like that. So this would be a good herb actually to incorporate to try to help balance out some of those issues and help keep our system clean. So that's it for today. Again, the bowel video should be somewhere, actually probably on this side. Be somewhere over here, so you can click on that one to check that video out, get some additional information. Again, please like, subscribe, and share, because if you got something out of this content, chances are someone else did, and support your girl. I love you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow.